Hi Cancer, welcome to your monthly reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always check what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of June, as usual, I have a special sales offer available. That is going to be like a mid-year a kind of check-in of energies, what kind of influences, opportunities, challenges are to be expected for the rest of the year, the next 6 months. If you'd like to know more details about it, just read down below, where you can also find the current list of reading services I offer. And if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Cancer, I'll be channeling messages for the collective of your sign, and then we'll tie it together also with the cards that will be showing up. There's something a little bit, you might find there's a tone to June that can make you feel like you're losing something, that you're unlucky, unfortunate. There's a sense of like a disgrace or a feeling of ruins. So for some of you, it's a spiritual process you have been in, feeling like your psyche and a lot of things in terms of your mental and emotional well-being just have not been functioning right. For those of you that have already felt like this, that know this, it could be important for some of you, and for some cases, that you seek help to relieve that, all right, to find assistance and support in very sensitive and complex issues that have to deal with your nature and the nature of situations and how it had affected you at a deep level. So basically, many of you could be revisiting trauma you are aware of, or trauma that you were not aware, that's very unconscious, but now becomes kind of revealed and brought to the light. I feel like many of you feel so sorry for something. So this could also be like you feel like it's your fault, something. Like you feel like you're responsible for something that felt like a disgrace or something that fell apart, a very negative event. And you feel at fault, you feel responsible for something. And because of this, there's a lot of self-blame and self-guilt, and even for some of you, self-hatred. Be aware of this. Be aware of the kind of the way you're treating yourself in a moment that it's already kind of very complex. Bullying yourself, being mean and hurtful towards yourself is not going to help. It's going to create more problems. This is a very specific message for those of you that are in that process, but for others, I just feel like, plainly, you just feel that something came at a very high cost. So a sense of sacrifice that either you've made recently or you're about to. It feels very like a high cost here. You lost something meaningful in a process of needing to make choices, like very conscious choices for yourself. For some of you, there has been this narrative between self and other things, right? And I feel like for some of you Cancers also, there's this feeling of not having the understanding that you would have liked to have. The patience, the respect in terms of your timing from particular people in your life that left you filled with sorrow. So I'm connecting with Cancers that are very, very in their feelings about everything, especially the recent months, but everything that left you feeling sad, depressed, let down, and emotionally there's issues of abandonment for many of you here. But the feeling here is that even if that came from a specific experience recently, this abandonment issue is deeper. It stems from childhood for many of you. So it's a very psychological, spiritual, forgiving, overcoming, transcending themed month, which are never easy kind of energies to receive or to deal with, because of the nature that it entails, because of the hurt and the sorrow that we need to revisit as we are healing. So it's a month of healing deep issues, and you can feel just very bothered by the fact that you cannot function or relate or attract into your life things that feel so normal and effortless to other people. So you're also very aware of the moment you are in your life versus what everybody else around you seem to be experiencing. There's a little bit of an energy of comparison that is not healthy, Cancer. Like judging your timing to heal, your timing to forgive or forget or let go, your timing to, get married or to find that successful job or that amount of money or to make that purchase, whatever it is, the thing in your mind that you're mostly concerned when it comes to timing and the expectations of time, Cancer. This is a deep theme also for many of you. It's the time energy. Is it time or not? I also feel like for some of you already have been doing this work, but you still in doubt. Am I ready or not? Is it time or not to step forward and again start building, relating, attracting, choosing, making things that I yearn for, but then I can't make it or I can't be a part of. You know what I mean? We can yearn for a relationship, but are we available to one? Are different, concepts. And if you haven't been aware of this, you're going to start to, but I feel like many of you, this is already a process you've been dealing with in the recent months. For many of you Cancers, there's a friend or a friendship, a connection that it's important, that is even vital. So don't shy away from finding some help, some support when you feel like you're in that complex web. There's a friendship that it's very important in this, very important role in this situation to help you sometimes, see things or motivate you or not give up, Many of you, you need to be, you need to learn how to ask for help when you need it. Some of you don't know how to ask help, or you let yourself get to places that could have been unavoidable if you would just ask for help. I keep getting, I'm sorry. So there's a lot of regrets, Cancer, either with you. It could also be an external influence, but I feel a lot with you, this weight of regretting things. Maybe you need to voice your regret, so apologize to those that make sense or write it out. Work through overcoming feelings of, blame, guilt. Regretting something can very easily become, when it starts to be this very obsessive thing that we don't do anything about it, actively. It creates, a lot of holes inside where, for me, it's this feeling of then you'd feel, incapacitated because you're so attached to that regret that you're then either not capable of moving in a true direction of self-forgiveness, or you can't even ask for that forgiveness in moments where it would have been simple to just voice the simple I'm sorry for the person or the situation you feel like it would be required. I feel like for some of you there's a situation where you're acknowledging that this very sensitive time is connected with a past action you've made or mistake. It's like you feel like spirituality in particular is punishing you for something you've done that you felt you were wrong, or you felt responsible, heavily responsible for the wrong. And I feel like there's a little bit of a need to rewrite what you believe is happening, not in the sense of a punishment. For many of you is an opportunity, a second chance, an opportunity to make amends and to start over. Starting over with a relationship, starting over with a specific issue you feel you let down, but especially starting over for yourself, for your life, for your happiness. It is possible to have a new start, a real rebirth, a real second chance based on growth. Because if you can't acknowledge your mistakes, if you can't acknowledge and own up to your responsibility, whatever it was, then it's all good. It's fine. We all are here. It's a very humbling experience here for Cancers, because I feel like maybe either you didn't want to see or you didn't want to look at that way, but it's inevitable that you come to a point where you start questioning, what if I didn't do this or that, or choose A instead of B, and blah blah blah, right? So you go in those mind trips and you start seeing then, your role in situations. But the point is not to punish you. If you feel like that, like you're being punished by something, really rephrase, misplace the word. Don't use that word, use another. It's a lesson you've went through, a necessary one, but now there's an opportunity for something much healthier and deeper and based on a lot of soul to take place. So a better relationship, or a better job, a better plan, a better goal. And for those of you that are going to have a chance to have a second chance with things of your past, it's going to be better. Because now you've got something, you've grown spiritually so much. And this also applies to Cancers that feel like this is not you, but this is that other person you have in mind right now. It could be that for some of you, someone is feeling very, very, very sorry for whatever they've done to you. And most likely it's a mirrored energy, all right? You could feel that way as much as someone else does. But it's interesting because I feel like for Cancers that this is the other person. At the same time, it's like this person's energy, you can feel this person's energy appealing to your forgiveness, appealing to your ability to give them another chance, or to give them, whatever they feel like they need for closure. It might not come from you, Cancer, but you feel their energy so strongly. And for those of you that are in that position, it's because, again, there's also a lesson here for you. There's something about you opening yourself up to also deeply investigate perhaps the trauma and the hurts and the undealt pain that situation with that person, left. So either way, being your responsibility or that person's responsibility, both are responsible to treat this before you can come into union and really form this beautiful bond. I feel like many of you, because this is about a relationship, you have regrets, or someone else has regrets. Probably both of you have regrets. But it's a very beautiful, I'm feeling like a dance of souls, like the moon and the sun energy. So throughout June, the influences of the moon and the transits it's making with the sun, it's extremely important to kind of trace also what's up energetically between you and other significant people, but also in this specific process of emotional and mental healing. For some of you, again, there's a real chance of an important connection resurfacing in your life. It's going to be tremendously helpful if you already kind of started doing this work. Because otherwise I feel like it's going to take a little longer for things to come into union again. And this union, even if it's not for love, for many of you, it's like coming back to a point again of wholeness within, or to a sense of self that you've lost somewhere, somehow. I keep getting like, ask to a friend, or ask for a friend again when you're battling with doubts that can feel very like they swallow you right into this very deep abyss of either fear, of shame, or guilt. Or I feel like some of you could also be in situations where you want to forgive, but you just don't know how to. You want to forgive either yourself or someone, but you just don't know how to, and that's the question. Okay, I want to consciously, but emotionally there's something preventing me from doing it. I don't know, it's a very common thing. I feel like we forgive here, but emotionally usually there continues to be some level of resistance to that forgiveness, or to that real deep-seated sense of I'm at peace with whatever the other one did or didn't do. Counseling is the best, either professional counseling or again counseling coming from a friend. That's very valuable right now. I do feel like many of you have a specific friend. I keep getting like a specific person in your life that is so precious, so precious, and it's time to turn to them. So it could have been like you're used to the contrary, like this person turning to you, but now it's your time to turn to them. They're there to help you. There's a lot of divine influences, agitating the waters for you, Cancer, before we go into your season where you're going to feel much more stronger and capacitated. It's like this is an opportunity to make a big, clearance of energy, to release, let go, all of the, the toxicity and the unwanted energy, so that when you go into your season, you're beautifully ready and available. Many of you, it's about you becoming available to the things you yearn for in particular. So let's see. Knight of Wands. But let's see how is it tying together with this channeled messages. Well, I feel like for many of you, the truths you need are going to come, all right? The decision process, a specific decision process that needs to happen, where you confidently choose something to move in a direction that feels like it honors you and it crowns. I keep getting like your self, your sacred self, your healed self. It's very important. So you need to be in connection with things and people that feel like crown you. They feel like they bring you a sense of honor, a sense of even like a good influence, a good reputation, a good something, like a good definition to your life. It's like you want either someone to be deeply deserving of you, or you want to move towards this person when you feel like you have the crown to offer them, all right? I keep getting like there's a lot of this influence of royalty here, so it's like this very regal energy as well. where you want relationships in particular, things to move in the most respectful ways to both, again, your heart and your ego. All right, I do feel like there's something about a spiritual reverence, a spiritual connection that feeds both the soul but also the ego, in the good sense, in a balanced sense. If you're afraid you're not going to get something, you definitely can. You definitely can get your way here to a victory that's very important to you, because it's about winning the 10 of Cups, you know. It's winning something that resembles your ideal version of what happiness in all areas of life look like, but especially within relationships. If there has been a lack of understanding or even will to move in the direction of that happiness, it's going to start blooming. But I do feel like this is more towards your season, so you might take longer than just the initial beginning of June for things to move. But once they move, they're going to move fast. So I hope you have a great month. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.